Well, hey, my Game of Throners and my House of Dragoners, okay? I don't even know if that's a word, Dragoners, but that's what it's going to be on today, okay? I have been watching the newest season of House of the Dragon, okay? A prequel to Game of Thrones, honey. I have been getting into it, and I just wanted to come and just talk about the show with you guys. Understand, okay? Understand this. Your girl has not read any books, okay? So please don't get in the comments. I'm saying, because in the book they said, well, really, you can get in the comments and say, because in the book they said, because I haven't read the book. So yeah, tell me what the book said. However, don't expect me to have read the book to be able to really put pieces together. You know what I'm saying? This really isn't your normal review. It's probably going to be a bit comedic, if you will say, because I'm just going to tell it to y'all based on my version. Kind of how I did Bridgerton. Because I do feel like sometimes with these medieval shows or whatever you want to call them, they speak in a different language. So I have to translate it to the people that I know talk on my level so that they can understand it and so that they can get it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm going to do with this review. And we could just have a discussion down below. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't get some of the stuff correct, it's okay. I'm going to get it right. You know what I'm saying? Just give me some time. But we can, chit chat about the show down in the comments. Okay. But I just wanted to talk about it because, listen, I'm enjoying it so far. All right. So let's talk. Okay. So the show opens up with King Jaehaerys. I hope I said that correctly. But anyway, he over there sitting in front of the council and he got to make a decision on who's going to take his place on the Iron Throne, okay? When there's no longer a him or when he's too sick or whatever the case is, right? So it's really between two people. It's between Prince Viserys, and I hope I said his name right, y'all. I feel like I'm going to butcher their names, but give me some time. Then you got Princess Rhaenys, okay? I kept getting her mixed up with Rhaenyra, but girl, they two different people. But anyway, so the prince and the princess happens to be cousins, right? So she was really next in line, and what he decided to do was end up choosing Prince Viserys. So he ended up being the king, and that was a little shady. So I was just wondering, like, dang, that's messed up. You didn't want to pick Rhaenys. What was wrong with that? Oh, it was because she was a woman. I also feel like he ended up picking, Prince Viserys because he was married and his wife was with child and probably assumed that child was going to end up being a boy or likely to be a boy. So it was like he going to continue on the legacy. So let's go ahead and just get this started over here. And because they've been reigning for oh so long, they never had a woman in that particular seat. So he didn't want no other woman to be in that seat. So now they decided to being labeled the Miss Princess girl as the queen that never was. Okay, so that's how I really be remembering her, and that's not really cool, but that's how I remember her is the queen that never was, even though her name is Rhaenys or something like that, girl. So anyway, that's what happened. Okay, so like I said, King Viserys was ended up named to be the king. Now fast forward, all right, now the king ended up actually having a daughter because that's who his wife was pregnant with, and the daughter name is Rhaenyra. So Rhaenyra, okay, is the daughter to Emma. I believe her name is Emma, I can't, is it Emma Aegon? I don't know what Emma last name is, but the mama name is Emma and her daddy obviously is king, okay, the king Viserys, so that makes her the princess or whatever like that, right? And what's interesting is that her mama is actually pregnant with the next child. Now the mama done had quite a few babies, but she miscarried all of them. So this one is, coming to term for the most part, and she's telling her daughter, like Rhaenyra, like, girl, one of the ways that you're gonna, or the only way that you're gonna be able to serve the kingdom and everything, girl, is for you to go ahead and get married, get laid up, okay, and bring new life into this world. And Rhaenyra over there looking at her like, girl, the hell you preach, because I'm not gonna do none of that, SHI. Okay, girl, I'd rather be on the battlefield. I'd rather be hanging out. If I'm gonna risk my life and risk it all, girl, and I gotta really put my life on the line and I gotta serve the people, I'd rather serve them on the field instead of being in the house, hidden away, tucked away, not really having much to damn say, but I'm out here dishing out babies for these people ever so often. You won't get me, okay, because I'm gonna be on the battlefield, period. All right, that's what's really going on, because Miss Girl be flying the hell out that dragon. Okay, so there's that. Now she is also the cupbearer. Can't forget that. So she's the cupbearer. So when the council is together, or whatever they call themselves, when they're in there with the king and they're consulting, trying to figure out, how to manage things, how to keep in control of the people in the city or whatever. She's there giving out, pretty much keeping their cups full. But she also is keeping her ears full too, because Miss Girl be getting all the tea and what really be going on. And I feel like the daddy did that kind of like strategically, right? I feel like he did that strategically so that she can be abreast to what all is truly happening, and she's like the only woman in the room. I don't think I've seen any other woman in the room or girl in the room or anything. Is primarily men. So I'm surprised that, well, I can't say that I'm surprised that she is in the room to be a cupbearer, because they look at women, in my opinion, as people that serve them. So it only makes sense that she's in there to serve them and keep their cups full. But whenever Miss Girl offer an opinion, ain't nobody really too much trying to hear what it is she got to say, because it ain't really valued for real, for real. But let's keep going. Now we ended up meeting Lord Corlys, okay? And Lord Corlys happens to be married to the queen that never was, Miss Rhaenyra, okay? And he is having an issue at this time because I believe he owns like quite a few ships, and he manages like the trade in and out the cities and different places. Well, right now, child, he's being threatened, he and his people, because I believe a few of his ship done got knocked down, child, and they done got knocked down by this man called the Crab Feeder. So with the Crab Feeder, what he been doing is over there feeding Corlys's people to the damn crabs, child, over there puncturing the people, beating the people up, tying them up on the beach, child, and letting the crabs come and feast on their body. Yikes. Okay, so at this point he's trying to call for a war. He like, y'all need to do something, because they over there threatening my trading. Okay, he's over here affecting stuff, and you need to understand that what affects me is eventually gonna come over there and it's gonna affect y'all too. So you need to get that shit together. Like, I don't, what y'all like, come on, what we doing. But of course they ain't really trying to hear that, for real. At least not the king. King Viserys really don't want no drama like that, for real. He don't want to fight fire with fire, in so many words. Okay, he feels like there's a different way of going about it. So that's how he feeling, right? But meanwhile, Daemon happens to be the king's brother. Now Daemon gonna end up helping Corlys out, but that's gonna come out at a later time, girl. We're gonna talk about that at a later time. Okay, now when it comes to Daemon happens to be the king brother, and for me, he was giving so much of evil to me. I said, oh, I don't like this man, I can't stand this man, whatever. But as I continue to watch the show, y'all, I feel like my thoughts may have slightly changed a little bit about Daemon. Okay, Daemon, aka Demon, because that's how close his name is to being one, because he definitely has them demon ways. But I tell you one thing he don't got is that demon DICK, because the way he was hitting his side chick from the back, I said, girl, what is it? Ain't even giving what it's supposed to be gave, girl. But y'all need to hurry up. Y'all ain't have to show us this lackluster mess. You know what I'm saying? Because when I think about Game of Thrones, what's the brother and the sister that used to get it on all the time? I can't even think of their name, child. Oh, I can't think of their name. But the brother and the sister, they used to be getting it on all the time. Seemed like it was more passion in that than it is over here. And I don't like none of that stuff that y'all be having going on, messing with your family members and stuff. But that's what they used to do back in the day, girl. So that's just what it is, okay? Now let's keep going. Okay, now he want to be king so bad. When it comes to Mr. Daemon, he wants to be the heir so bad. He feels like he's the heir. He wants to be treated as such or whatever. So girl, he's on a whole nother level with it. Now he is in charge. I believe he's like over the watchmen or something like that, or over the city watch, but we'll get to that. But moral of the story is, like I said, he wants to be king so bad. He feels like he's the rightful heir to the throne, since he is the brother to the king, and the king has yet to have a woman and have a son. But no woman has served in the position of sitting on the Iron Throne, right? No woman has been like over everything. So he thinks like, okay, well, I know he ain't gonna put his daughter in charge. He has yet to have a son. All his kids, after his daughter has pretty much died. So I know I'm next in line. So it's really gonna be me. That's what he thinking. Okay. Now he done sat up there and gave his niece Rhaenyra a some Valyrian steel type of necklace, saying both of them have a piece of Valyrian steel or whatever. But I don't know if y'all caught it, but the vibes between them was real off. It was giving very much so suspect. It was giving very much so, do you like your niece like that, and do you like your uncle like that? Like, girl, what is it giving? Like, I don't like this energy. Don't look at each other in the eyes too much longer. Okay, tell her how to turn around. It was giving very much so seductive. Like, she turned around, he done put it on her neck and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is not good. I don't like how this is going. Okay, because if I done sat up here and saw a brother and a sister hunch on each other, then I feel like I'm probably gonna see a doggone uncle and a niece hunching, and I don't like that, because that girl are young. Like, I don't. And not just because she young, but that's your uncle. Like, that's nasty. But that's what they do, girl. But anyway, let me just go ahead and just keep going. Now, child. Meanwhile, Viserys over there, he keep getting beat up by that motherfucking throne. Okay? And I feel like the throne over there attacking his ass and eating his ass. So, like, he got a wound on his back that clearly ain't gonna heal. By the end of the episode, he done got a cut on his damn finger that's not gonna heal either. And I'm sitting over here like, girl, it seems like the throne is rejecting you. It seems like the throne does not want you. Let's be clear. The throne is like, okay, your time is slowly coming to an end. You're going to have to get up off here, because you don't even know how to handle things. Okay. You're not doing this right. You're not doing a good job at being king. So we tired of you. So it seems like, The throne just, they gonna beat his ass till he can't do it no more. That's what it's giving. But let me just go ahead and keep going. Now keep in mind his wife is pregnant at this time, and he is telling the council because he really believes that this is going to be his son. Like, we doing all this talking about what's next or whatever, but my son gonna put an end to all of this, okay? Because she is pregnant with a boy, and I believe that. That's what he's saying, right? Now keep in mind his daughter don't seem to be too happy about that. Miss Rhaenyra, now I don't know why Miss Rhaenyra may not be too happy. I don't know if it's because she wants to be in that queen position, or if it's because she's like, dang, I'm tired of you over here, keep talking about this boy. I'm tired of you talking about a little boy. I'm tired of you talking about it. Like, dang, it seems like having a boy is more important than the daughter you got right in front of you. Like, maybe she just don't like the biasness within the council and how they run stuff either. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she feels a way about that. But that's just what I got. But anyway, let's go back to Daemon. Okay, Mr. Daemon decided he finna go into the village and terrorize the people, and I felt the way about that. That was him trying to exercise his weight and remind people who in charge. Okay, because he is the commander of the City Watch. Okay, and that's what it is. I couldn't remember what it was, but it's commander of the City Watch. So he done went down to the city. Now here's the thing. When I first saw it, I was like, why are you over there terrorizing the people like that? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Then I went back and I kind of watched it. I said, oh, I see what you're doing. So the people that done art somebody, you cutting off their balls. Okay, got you. Okay, and the people that done sat up here and been thieves, you going to cut off their motherfucking hands. Okay, and if you done sat up there and clapped somebody and took their life from them, then I'm finna take yours, so I'm finna chop your head. And I said, oh, wow, is that what we're doing? So it's kind of giving eye for an eye type of activity, to where it's like, I may not like his method, but I understand the madness. Does that make sense? Like, I kind of get why he went over there chopping up them people, because you can't be out here doing wrong and think ain't gonna happen to you, okay? And the vengeance is on me. I'm gonna come out there and give it to you. And it's just like, girl, wow. Okay, because at first I don't like this man, but watching it another time, I started to see things a little differently, girl. Y'all gonna have to let me know y'all thoughts about Mr. Daemon down in the comments, Sadie, okay? But anyway, child, now the hand of the king, Hightower, can't stand him, girl. This man messy, conniving, sneaky as hell. Don't really like him at all. He gonna sit up there and call out, because after all of that happened, and Mr. Damon or whatever done went into the city and ran amok in the palace or whatever like that. The hand of the king, Hightower, with his messy ass, he gonna sit up there and pretty much call out Damon, okay, for pretty much doing his job more than he over there doing his wife. I said, oh wow, I know you ain't talking. I know you ain't sitting up there talking. Gonna call that man out. So Damon pretty much handles him, gets him together and tell him, well, shit, if you want my wife, then how about you get her? Okay, you did lose yours not too long ago, didn't you? So girl, that had made Hightower stand up on his. It's like, okay, now don't get bitch slapped. Okay, don't make me slap the fuck out you sitting up here talking about my wife and stuff like that. Okay, and I'm sitting over here like, I understand your wife done passed away, but you ain't have to call his wife out or say nothing about him over there doing his job more than he over there hunching on his wife. You don't know what he doing. But let's be honest, okay? Damon is not private about the fact that he can't stand his wife. He's not private about that at all. He do not like that lady at all. So he done went and got him a little mistress that he be over there messing around with and be over there humping on and stuff like that, girl. Okay, so gonna have to be a little careful with that. I'm like, I guess they can't get divorces or something. I guess they can't do that back in the day. Maybe the wife was assigned to him, but he do not like that lady like that. He wants his mistress. That's who he want to be with. That's who he spends most of his time with. And I don't think I've even seen his wife yet. I don't think she's appeared in the first episode. Maybe I need to go back and watch that. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's get to it. So the queen over there struggling. Now they do have this little match where I forgot what you call it when they're I forgot what you call it when they ride on the horses, and then they got the little thing, the stick poke out, and then they got to knock you off your horse to see who win. They all out there playing some game. Whole time the king and the queen that never was and everybody outside Hightower and them out there watching the game, his wife over there trying to give birth to this baby, which does end up being a boy. So she out there trying to give birth or whatever. So they done sitting for the king that came in their time. They done told him, listen, this is tough on your wife. This is real hard on her, okay? Childbirth is a struggle. So it's probably going to come down to you making a decision. So you need to make a decision. Do you want to say your wife or you want to say your mother, child? Which one is it? Now, because he's so desperate to have an heir that's a boy, and he trying to prove everybody wrong that he can't have a boy or whatever, he makes the terrible decision to save his wife instead of to save his boy instead of saving his wife. But I'm confused because I feel like how else was y'all going to get the baby out of her? Y'all probably was going to still kill her either way it go. So, I mean, was y'all going to have her drink tea and the baby was just going to die? She was just going to pass the baby? Like, either way it go, it sounded like the wife was going to die anyway, right? So Anyway, he made that decision. Okay, he came in there. The wife is kind of like, what's happening? What's going on? I'm scared. Viserys, like, I'm scared. Like, what is happening? Child didn't start up here and literally sliced this lady's stomach. And I'm like, that's what y'all was doing back in the day. Y'all ain't have no numbing medicine, no nothing. Oh, Father God, I'm so glad I was not living back during that time. But anyway, they done sliced the lady open. She's screaming for her life. I'm sure they heard it all throughout the village and into the woods. And they done sat up there and snatched this baby out this lady's stomach. And she did not survive, of course. So I'm sure she bled out. She didn't live much longer after that. Well, guess who else did not live much longer after that? And I really hate to say that, was the king's son. Okay, so they probably about to cut that baby somewhere the way they was cutting that lady open to get that baby up out of her. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the baby ended up passing away, and the baby was a boy. That is just so sad. I feel so bad for the king. So then the next day, the king had to pretty much bury his wife and his baby. And he was so sad, but you could look at his daughter and tell, Miss Rhaenyra was feeling away, just a little bit like, dang, I hate that I lost my mommy. Like, I hate I lost my little brother too. But daddy, that's what you get. You the one who was so selfish, and you really wanted to have a little boy so damn bad that you chose to kill mommy off just so that you could have a little boy. And then now look at you. You done lost both of them. That's what you get. You should appreciate what it is that you got. And I've been standing right in front of your face this entire time. So daddy, I guess he was supposed to say Jakartas. And I guess he didn't want to say it. I don't know. But it was her horse. I mean, it was her dragon. So she ended up saying it. She looked at her daddy for a long time. And then she looked over there and she says, Jakartas. And then he flamed them people up. Flamed the wife up at the funeral. The wife and the baby up. I really hate that. I ain't no cremation was taking place so early a long time ago, but that's what they was doing, okay? At least when it came to the, Targaryens or whatnot, they flamed their people up and went on about their business. And what I really hated was the fact that with his wife passing away, he didn't even have enough time to grieve. He didn't even have enough time to really have a funeral for her, okay, before he get back in the council and Hightower and them done called this damn media applying pressure. And that's why I'm glad the throne for me is eating the hell out of Viserys. Because why do you let Hightower make so many decisions? Why do you not put your balls on the table? You don't do that so much. Like, Hightower could never manipulate me to come back to the table the same night that I done just sat up here and, flamed up my wife and them to sit up here and have a conversation about who the heir finna be who's the next heir. What you gonna do? You need to make a decision. You trying to get him at his moment of vulnerability so he could just assign anybody. What kind of stuff is that? Now, Lord Corlys over there talking about he want Daemon. Yeah, you want Daemon because you got a good relationship with him. We'll see that at a later time, but that's why you want Daemon. But Hightower can't stand Daemon. But what's so funny, and I love this, Daemon was behind the doors. Daemon over there sneaking in, listening in, seeing what the hell going on. I said, y'all over there talking all this cap stuff about Daemon, but don't know that he over there listening to y'all every word, right? So Hightower can't stand him, so he over there throwing every kind of thing at Daemon that he could, okay? He unpredictable. He got this going on. He don't listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, anybody give him some type of power, you gonna give him an inch, he gonna go crazy. You already see what he over here doing as commander of the city watch or whatever, child. So no, he can't do the position. Meanwhile, you got the king up there pretty much going up for his brother, kind of like trying to have his brother back. But then everybody else just going back and forth. He be like, listen, you know what I'm saying? First of all, actually, before we get into him going off on them, okay? Now, one of the guys asked, like, who's the next in line? Like, how does it go? And then Hightower said the king's firstborn, knowing that it's the daughter. And then somebody else spoke up and was like, because listen, we ain't had no woman to sit in that throne and run this kingdom or anything for 100 years. And we not finna start this shit now. So y'all could do all of that talk. Like, we just not finna do that. And I'm like, that's disrespectful as hell. And this is the thing for me, it's the king. You sit up here letting them talk to you any kind of way and how it's finna go. You finna let them sit up here and talk to you any kind of way and how it's finna go. Girl, all I could think about was the president of the United States. Okay, I'm over here thinking like, well, shit, if this is how it was working in the kingdom at some point, then how many decisions do y'all really make on y'all own? You know what I'm saying? Even when I think about universities, you have your president, but they also got to go in front of the board and make certain decisions. So is he really making his own decision for the university, or is it the board that's making the decision? Okay, you're just a person standing in the place of to speak on behalf of the rest of them. Like, that's what it's giving. I said, girl, what the hell is this? Okay, so I was glad when he stood up and he yelled at that. He ain't really stood up, but he yelled at them and he cussed them out damn near, girl. Okay, he could have used cuss words, but he did. But he was just like, I just, sat up here and had to, have a funeral for my wife. My wife and my son just motherfucking died. And y'all want to sit up here and talk about some air stuff? Are you out your fucking mind? Like, my family is ruined and y'all want to talk about, I don't give about none of that. About none of this. Get up out my face. So I was definitely here for him clapping off on them. And I'm like, first of all, you should have never went in there to begin with. But again, he didn't know what it was about until he sat down. But girl, I don't think he should have went in there. I would have been like, y'all, I need some time to myself. Okay, you gonna go in there and entertain that conversation. But then this is what else got me, girl, because y'all know I can't stand Hightower. I'm seeing right through him, girl. I'm disliking Hightower more than I dislike Daemon. So he gonna sit up there and talk to his girl, his daughter Allison, who happens to be best friends with Rhaenyra. So he gonna sit up there and talk to Allison, talk about some, yeah, I want you to go over there and I want you to talk to the king. You know what I'm saying? Go over there and comfort him, be beside him, because of we'll see what he really doing. He trying to put his daughter in position. I keep saying his wife, but his wife passed away. He trying to put his daughter in position so she can get with the king, so that it can make him a bit more powerful as a man. You know what I'm saying? Girl, I can't stand. That's a sneaky little fake snake to me. But anyway, she does as she's told. Okay, she go in there, she have a talk with the king, have a little conversation, try to relate to him on a level of losing somebody because she lost her mom, and then that's how the connection with them start. And I can't stand it. Now the next day, child, why word done got back to the king that Daemon done sat up there and called his son, the Prince Balon, the one that passed away, saying that the baby was an heir for the day. I said, girl, that's rude as hell. So when the king asked him, he was like, did you say this shit? And then Daemon gonna say, I mean, we all grieve differently. You know what I'm saying? We got our own way of grieving. You know, now at first he wasn't gonna answer him, and then the king said, if you don't answer and tell me something, I'm gonna have my people cut your motherfucking tongue out. So how you trying to do it? Girl, that was some messy stuff there. So he said, well, you know, we grieve in our own way. So then King Viserys ended up snapping on his edge, just going off and sitting up there telling him, I done sat up here and ruined my family, lost my family, and you want to sit up here and praise your damn self because you think that you gonna be the next heir in line. Is that what it is? You know, I done sat up here and I done defended you to all these MFers that had some things to say about you, and this is how you do me? Okay, this how you do me. When I'm in the moment of grieving, you ain't come and check on me. You ain't do none of that. But you want to sit up here and talk about my child being heir for a day. You want to joke about that and they think that you finna be my heir? Now I'm on your ass at this point. So Damon said, I know you ain't sitting up there trying to talk to me like that, baby. Because you, sir, you didn't even pick me as your hand to the king. Let's talk about that. You over there talking and picking Hightower, and Hightower don't even go up for you like that. He don't even be protecting you like that for real. He said, if you would have picked me, I would have been able to protect you. And then the king said, protect me or what? He said, yourself, because you weak. You don't see how you be getting all them bruises up there at the Iron Throne? The throne trying to tell you that you too weak for this position. What the fuck is going on with you? And if you really paid attention, you would know that the council even know how weak you are. That's why they be up here praying on your ass anyway. Girl, let me tell you, Damon was over there trying to eat, baby. So then Viserys says, well, guess what? No. I think Daemon told him, I'm your heir. And then Viserys said, oh yeah, you think you my heir, but you not, except for you ain't. So what you can do is leave my motherfucking kingdom and go straight to your house. Like, this is an order from the king. Go to the house and be with your wife. I said what the hell it is that I said. That's the only thing that you can do. Period. So I guess he sent him back to his wife, and he really ain't supposed to be messing with that other lady. You know what I'm saying? But we'll just see how that's gonna play out for the most part. So then what ended up happening after that? Well, I will say this. During that argument, this is where I kind of saw something different. Right? I said, you was up here, like, something's weird. I ain't gonna say weird, but something's off about Viserys for me. So you sitting up here saying that you defend your brother and you hold him down when you're amongst the council, but at the same time, you're not necessarily willing to name him your heir? Or am I missing that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it made me feel like, yeah, you defend your brother, but do you really like your brother for real, for real? I feel like you don't. I don't know, but I don't know what could have happened when y'all were kids, because I feel like you still didn't name an heir. Like, even though Daemon is next in line to be the heir, you didn't name him as heir. You see what I'm saying? It was still understood that it was going to be his son. So if everybody understood that it was going to be Daemon to be the next heir, then why did the council bring you together to have the conversation about the next heir? So yeah, you defend your brother, but you didn't make a decision for him to be the next heir. So do you even really like your brother for real, for real? And y'all already know, as soon as Hightower and them found out about what Daemon said, y'all know they don't want him to be the heir. So of course they rushed to the king to tell him what happened to prevent Daemon from being heir, even if the king was gonna make that decision, which I don't believe he was going to do anyway. For real, for real. So then he decides he finna go back to his daughter, sit down and apologize to her and say, I'm so sorry. You know what I'm saying? I've been sitting up here this whole time, going crazy, trying to have a son and meet the standard of the kingdom or whatever. The whole time I wasn't paying attention to what was right in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Which is you, my motherfucking daughter, okay? The princess. So he decided to name her his heir. So now Rhaenyra is princess of Dragonstone and the heir to the throne. And I said, well, come on, baby, because this is how I need to go. go, because if you want something done right, you might want to go ahead and get you a woman to do it. Okay, and I'm just letting you know what it is. But girl, this was a cute little episode. You know what I'm saying? Episode 1. I want you guys to go ahead and leave your thoughts and comments down below on the episode of House of Dragons. Yes, episode 1. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, honey. Bye bye.